Late quiet. Okay, so how are the old stats doing? I would like to get persuasion up. I'd like to get organizing up. Like, if these are like on the thirds, then organizing's probably pretty close to being where we want it. Also, let's switch our gear back to our cape, maybe. Yeah. Anyway. Let's do a bit of... I'd like to get the reasoning up too. We can't do robotics. Engineering is nowhere near where we need it for that. Tutoring children is not bad. 3 reasoning. That's really good, actually. I'd like to take the empathy up. We used to be good at empathy. Have you noticed this? And now we aren't. Creativity and persuasion is on the humanities. How did we get empathy before? Huh. I guess tutoring the children helps with that. Creativity, persuasion. I would actually like to get both of these up. They're both close to the next levels. So actually, let's study some humanities today. You're heading back to your quarters at the end of the day, and as you pass by the medbay, you hear shouts and scrambling from within. Several surveyors have come back with serious wounds. Not the usual broken limbs and sunstroke. One of them is holding a towel to her leg, staunching blood flow from a massive animal bite. Another looks nearly blinded from acid. Looks like chaos in there. We aren't good enough of biology to help in medbay. We can watch unintrusively. Yuck, that was terrible. Dr. Instance fixed them up, but there's a lot of blood. It really seemed like she could use an assistant nurse. It's hard to look away while Instance is operating. You learn a thing or two about human anatomy, but lose your appetite for dinner in the process. Knowledge is power, though. Knowledge is power. Okay, gotta get to 35. Not a problem, probably. Okay. This can create this, which we can then use for this, and we get a pair. And we get a stranger, and there we go. Okay, hold on. We can do something. Yeah, we can push through for just 5 stress, sure. Alrighty. Haha! Persuasion has gotten to where we need it. Lovely. Lovely. Early pollen. New perk! Extra kudos. +1 kudos every time you receive kudos. I'm so persuasive. It's great. Alright, next step, let's get organizing up, and we'll do that by doing our job. How about it? How about that? What do I know about my friends? Like, I feel like I know some of their birthdays. Not yours. That was a failure of navigation there. Not yours. Not yours. Not yours. You're dead. Early wet is Mars's birthday. Good to know. No, don't know yours. Mid dust is Nami's, so might give Nami a thing. No idea. Okay. Anyway. How you doing, Mars? Mars is wearing Nami's VR headset and smiling. When you tap her on the shoulder, she jumps and rips it off, scowling. Oh, it's you, she says, fluffing her hair. I thought it was another adult coming to tell me to do something useful. She holds up the VR headset. Oh, this? Now we realize that you can load the old museum guided tours onto this thing so you can actually feel like you're walking around in the Louvre or the Guggenheim. Toast cool, right? Finally, some culture. That does actually sound pretty cool. Rex, I guess we'll give you a hug since it's easy. Rex is playing a game where he throws a ball up in the air as high as he can and tries to catch it without using his hands. You narrowly miss him running right into you, and the ball bounces away. Shucks, Rex exclaims, twiddling his big furry ear. I was on a roll. Do you need something? Hugs! Great, okay. Not sure why he's so friendly. Probably because he's part dog or whatever, but... I'll take advantage. What do we have in the supply depot these days? Wait, would this get you 7 cakes if you were to buy this? Because it's got a number. It says 7. I'll have to think about that. 7 cakes sounds ultra powerful. Let's assist the governor. 3 persuasion, 3 organizing, 1 friendship with Mars, 8 kudos, 10 stress. Let's go. You help mediate an argument between two people who can't decide how to split the shared space outside their residences. You're able to pull up the council minutes where it was decided that communal spaces must be utilized for the maximum enjoyment of all connected private spaces, regardless of proximity to entrances and windows. You tell the two complainants that they must figure out a way to equitably share the space or to leave it empty for maximum utility. You're proud that you managed to solve this problem without putting it on the governor's desk. Great. Let's run this colony then. Okay, let's see. We can get like a 4, a 5, a 6, a 7, a 3. Well, that seems pretty good. Lovely. You're woken by the buzzing of your holopalm. It's a colony-wide alert. You rub your eyes and ponder the thickness of the air seeping into your bedroom through the open veranda door. It's an ominous but beautiful sight. The seasonal pale pink haze has turned a deep fuchsia with scintillating silver sparks floating throughout it. The shimmer. You check your holopalm messages. There's a colony-wide notice telling you to stay put. I should head to geoponics and make sure Dad is alright. You don your environmental mask and make your way out to geoponics where your dad is working. They are so thick it's hard to see anything at all, and your footsteps are strangely muffled. Other people moving through the fog appear like spirits, flickering shadows through the murky sunlight. No one speaks except to urge you back to your quarters. You make it into one of the greenhouses, but you can't find your dad anywhere. You keep checking your holopalm, but he won't respond to your messages. You start to panic. Then you get a message from Dr. Instance telling you to come to medbay. Your father collapsed outside the wall and is in bad shape. Wait, outside the wall? When they finally let you in to see him, your dad is lying in a medbay, asleep. He's almost unrecognizable. The shimmer is all over him, and his skin is glittery and strangely lumpy, like something is growing out of it. Something is growing out of him. You realize as you see Instance carefully scrape what looks like fungus from his shoulder. She places it in a petri dish and hands it to Tangent. There are tiny fungal growths all over him, even one poking out from the corner of his mouth. You watch with disgust as a thick trickle of glittering pink dust leaves off the tip of it and disperses into the air. Tang places a sample from your dad under an analyzer and turns it on. She looks tired. I'm sorry, Solana, she mumbles. We're close. You sit with him for a while, until Dr. Instance sends you back to your quarters to rest. In the early hours of the morning, you hear that your dad has passed away. Always so cavalier about the darn pollen. You spend most of the next month in your quarters. Mid pollen. They hold a funeral for your father. You're becoming an old hand at these funerals. First Tammy, then her father, Uncle Tonin, and your own mother, and Calm, and everyone else who's died in an attack. Feels like your own mother's funeral was only weeks ago. It's so colossally unfair. No one quite knows what to say to you, though they grieve along with you. It doesn't make it any easier. Antecedent and all the other adults of the colony will always be here for you, but you guess you're an orphan now. You miss your dad. You miss your mom, too. Mostly, you just sleep. One morning, Chief Engineer Instance asks you to visit her in the medbay. You go because you don't have the energy to say no. I have to tell you something delicate about your father's condition, Solana. Let me guess, is it genetic? Am I doomed to this fate as well? She begins, folding her hands on her desk. I hope this information will give you some comforts. After your father's death, we continued to research the shimmer. she continues, her voice even and neutral. Being able to study the disease in its terminal phase and beyond was the missing piece. We now know how to prevent the shimmer from taking hold in human cells, she says, her faint smile not quite reaching her eyes. With cultures grown from your father's cell lineage, everyone in the colony can be inoculated against the shimmer. Thanks to your father, we have a cure. Well, it's a silver lining, at least. I mean, I'm not sure I've got it in me to be happy about this. You know, Dad's still dead. Anger isn't the right emotion here either, you know? I mean, I guess the logic there would be, like, how is it you incompetent people couldn't figure this out until after he had died? You want me to take solace in the fact that now when it's too late, you've got it figured out. Really? I don't think that's helpful, though. We'll just, I think this is just sort of a numb situation, like, oh, great. I'm glad that something good came from this. It's okay to feel that way, Instant tells you with uncharacteristic kindness that you find comforting. Grief is different for everyone. If you need more time off to rest, nobody will mind. Honestly, I think I gotta keep resting. Like, we're at 80 stress. This is not sustainable. Right, 80? Yeah. You spend the month writing a prodigious amount of poetry, deleting it almost as soon as you're done. It makes you feel a little better to be able to express your feelings. Arguably... Okay, let me take you through the logic here. If we determined that getting a 3 would have made our deck worse, that logic then would extend that removing a 3 should make our deck better. Because 3 is on the lower end of the power curve. So we will forget Tangent's focus. No offense to Tangent, but, you know, we gotta be improving our deck as we move along. Also, the special ability of that card basically never actually matters. Late Pollen. In Morning. All skill increases are reduced by 1 for 3 months. But I'm clear-minded. 10% chance to get a bonus when increasing skills. Okay, Hey, Rex. Rex's ears droop in sadness. Listen, I'm sorry about your dad, he says. He seems like a really great guy. Hey, Tangent. Or, not Tangent, this is Mars. Where's my mind at? Mars breezes over and gives you a kiss on each cheek. I am so sorry about your dad, she says, holding you at arm's length. Thanks. I appreciate the sympathy. Hey, Dis. What are you doing all the way up here? Dis shifts uncomfortably from foot to foot. Sorry about your dad, he mutters. He looks out towards the wilderness. The pollen's really thick in the Valley of Vertigo, too, he adds. Sometimes people in expeditions would get kinda weird about it. Guess that's not gonna happen anymore, now that they figured out the shimmer. Guess so. And geoponics is empty. No one here that I knew. Hey, Anemone. Anemone nods at you as you approach. Sorry about your dad, she says with a sympathetic but slightly distant smile. He was cool. Yeah. We've all got experience with loss these days. Vase nods at you in understanding. Sorry about your dad, he says. He seems like a good guy. You really lucked out. Hard to consider myself lucky at a time like this, but I appreciate the sentiments. Hey, Tangent, my friend. Tangent looks around, ready to collapse, or looks about ready to collapse. I'm sorry about your dad, she mumbles. We tried so hard. So hard. She repeats to herself, as if you're not even there. Hey, Tangent, it's not your fault, okay? It's not your fault. You did everything you could, okay? I don't blame you. Or anyone else. It's just... life sucks sometimes. And that's just the way it is. Hey, Cal. Cal gives you a watery smile. Hey, he says quietly. I could really use one of your dad's hugs right now. You know? Yeah, I do know. Never again, unfortunately. Never again. What to do? Let us go. I want to do one shift of organizing. Or not organizing, but assisting the governor, which helps with organizing. Okay, card gets +2. So we could use that to... I guess we could make this a 3, then that sets its neighbors to be 3s. We could actually do just straight up all 3s, except for this one. Hold on. There's a better way to do this. Okay. So this becomes a 6. This is a 5. This is a 5 right now, but if we play this, it becomes... Actually, no reason not to put it here. It becomes 4. 4, 5, 6. And we can push through. I guess that's kind of what we just have to do here. Oh, what did we miss? 32. Okay, we could have gotten to 33. All right. Early dust. New perk. Extra card draw. Draw an extra card at the start of challenge. Effect stacks. Nice. Extra card at the start of challenges. That's pretty good. Okay, what to do? So this is going to be the festival, so probably just... I'm thinking, hey Nami, how are you? Nami is grooving along to music only they can hear through their head ear speak. They bump into you and gasp, gesturing to turn off their head speak. Oh my gosh, I didn't see you there, sorry. They dust you off unnecessary. Good as new, they chirp. What's going on, Solana? Not much. Thinking I'm gonna go do some studying, maybe. Like to get... We could do some engineering. 1 engineering, 2 reasoning. Oh, we could become friends with Tangent and Nami Nami. Doesn't seem like bad. Let's do some engineering. Tang flags you down in the hallway. Oh, Solana, do you have a moment? You go on expeditions sometimes, right? She asks. At least far more than I do, or would ever wish to. So, would you mind doing me a favor? Of course. Anything for you, Tangent. It's a small thing, really, and I'm to understand it's not terribly dangerous either. Tang replies. I simply need you to bring me some hop-eye eggs the next time you come across a nest out there. I'd ask this, but, well... She makes an evocative, dismissive gesture. Out of curiosity, wow. For science, obviously. Tang replies. It's on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. Just bring me some eggs, or you can tell the chief engineer why you're holding me back. Okay, I'll keep an eye out for them, Tangent. That's all I ask, Tang replies primly. They're quite common, if reports from the foragers are to be believed. They tell me that they commonly find nests in the Valley of Vertigo. It's positively lousy with them. Okay, well, I guess I was planning on going out on an expedition soon anyway. We can swing by the Valley of Vertigo. What do we got? We can get an 8. We can get a 4, another 4, another 4, and a 5. That became a 10 somehow. Oh, +2 to the last card. Huh. Okay. Well, this looks like a win. I could have gotten to 44. Oh, well, we passed. It's Vertumnalia. In the midst of the colony, decorating and setting out the food for the feast, you have trouble finding your festive spirit. Your dad's only been dead for a few weeks. How could anyone celebrate at a time like this? You gather in the colony square for the usual speeches. Lum takes the stage to fanfare and applause. "Hello, people of Vertumna!" he exclaims over the din. "Happy Vertumnalia!" He raises his hands to call for silence. "Before we celebrate, I want to recognize those we lost this year. Head of Geoponics, Geranium, and Surveyor Imbroglio. The crowd goes silent for a minute. Your vision blurs with tears. How is this supposed to make you feel better that he's gone? This year has taught us that the aliens are more dangerous than we ever knew. Lum continues. It's not just the attacks during Glow. They're weaponizing the very air we breathe. But they won't win. Already, we've discovered how to beat them at their own game. With everyone inoculated against the Shimmer, we're one step closer to total dominion over this planet. And I'm not sure I'd necessarily ascribe motive to the pollen. Granted, you know what, now that I think about it, it does kind of seem to have a mind of its own, so he might be onto something here. After the council members each give their annual reports, everyone starts clearing the square to set up for the Vertumnalia Games. You feel the pulse of a new holo message in your palm and open it to read. Happy Vertumnalia. There's a present for you on the table. XOXO, your secret admirer. Oh, I've got a secret admirer now. You rush over to the feast table and spot a wrapped present in among the roasted vegetables. Wow, you have a secret admirer. You unwrap your present. It's a data band. You snap it on your wrist and boot it up on your holopalm. It's full of all your favorite songs, videos, shows, and games. A collection curated by someone who must really know you. Now you always have your media with you even if the net goes down, including all your favorite episodes of The Rise and Fall of Sanctuary Moon. Nice. Okay, gift from a secret admirer. +2 to the last card. Okay. You search the holopalm for any hint as to who could have made it, but you can't find anything. You have to ask around. But later, the games are about to begin. You assemble with the other kids for the annual games. What do you choose this year? Well, the bake-off was, really good in terms of rewards, so we're gonna bake off again. You join Cal in the kitchens. Hey, Solana, he says. Are you ready to get your bake on? This year's theme is multi-layered cakes. You'll be in charge of designing, baking, assembling, and decorating a towering monument to sweet cake and frosting. Anyway, let's go. Gotta get to 99. Alrighty. +1 to mental cards. Great. How do I want to start this? This we want to wait for more gem cards. Which means we want to ideally use non-gem cards mostly. Granted, we could get 8, 9. I'd love to have a 7. I guess we could do this and get 3 5s. That is reasonable. I mean, 4 4s. It's not terrible. Kind of feel like we should, like... Granted, maybe it would be better to do, like, 8, 9, 10. Does this count as a 10? I'm not even sure. I don't think it actually literally becomes a 10. It's just a wild. And that leaves us our 4s for next round. I think let's go with the 4s. Because that can leave us with bigger potential for the round after. Okay. So this, if we put next to the 9, can turn it into an 11. Not bad, necessarily. Then we can get, like, 8 and 4 over here. Get a 5 over here. We could push through. There's got to be a better way to go about this, though. Okay. Let's imagine this. So, we can do, well... Unfortunately, so we got 8, 9. We don't have any other red cards, so we can't really use this. We could turn this into a 7 using our mushwood. 7, 8, 9. That would get us a straight, which is better. So, like, okay. I think that's a good idea. 7, 8, 9. Then at this point, and we could... And that's not bad. Get that pair of 4 at. Push through for 15 stress. Sure. Your cake is an architectural marvel. Easily in the running for the best thing ever created on Vertumna, for sure. It's 4 tiers and decorated with delicate hand-sculpted floral details and piped frosting. It's delicious, too. The best part is eating it, of course. Okay. After the festivities, everyone descends on the feast. You heap your plate with more food than you could eat in 3 sittings. Everyone around you is so happy, but you can't help but notice the empty space where your dad should be sitting. It's your first holiday as an orphan. The other colonists tried to make room for you in their conversations, but it's not the same. Mid-dust. Oh, hey, Tangent, you got something to say? What's up? Tangent is hard at work in the lab, entering calculations into her holopalm, and frowning over a set of samples. She barely notices you enter. Hello, Solana, she says, distractedly, before going back to her work. Someone gave you a databand. It might have been Tangent. Okay. We could ask. And let's be honest, so... There's really, I guess, 3 major candidates. You know, Jis, we've got a friendship of 31 with, Tangent 46, Mars 51. Could be any of those 3. Databand does seem more like a Tangent sort of gift. Let's just ask. Tangent continues to scrutinize her work through the tips, though the tips of her ears go pink. No, of course not, she says. I would never... The whole idea of... I'm simply too busy to. Don't worry, me neither. It's okay, I won't tell. Sure, why not? Tang nods, finally meeting your eye. Good, she says. I don't want to make a big deal about it. Well, I mean, I guess the moment calls for it. Going for a smooch. Technically, that's making a big deal about it, isn't it? Drad, I cannot read social situations. You lean in for a kiss with Tangent, take a step back. I have to get back to work, she says and leaves the room. Yeah, that's making a big deal about it. My apologies, Tangent. My apologies.